and welcome to the world's most famous podcast. I'm your hostess, Jacqueline Maddison. Today we delve into an inspiring conversation with the visionary CEO of Oh Crap, Australia's leading eco-friendly dog brand. He's transforming the world with sustainable innovation and hosts the absolutely awesome podcast where he empowers changemakers to blend spirituality with business. Get ready for his heartfelt insights on creating impact with purpose. Let's welcome Henry to the show. So excited to have you with us. Welcome to the show. You have an incredible story, which I'm sure our listeners are going to be thrilled to learn about. Let's start with what inspired your eco-friendly business journey to begin with?
What inspired it? I was inspired with knowing what I grew up in the country. And in the country, I grew up around green grass. I grew up around the cows, the sheep. I grew up around the wildland areas. And I was very sort of cut off from the city growing up. And then I think when I first went to the city and really moved there in my early 20s, I started realizing that it feels like we create a lot of waste, a lot of single-use waste. And to me, that just never quite sat right, but I didn't really know what to do with it at the time. And then I think it's only when I went back to the country in my late 20s that contrast became really obvious.
Wow.
And that's a point in time that I started really being aware of that difference and appreciating that suddenly there's so many things that just in everyday life, whether we live in the country or the city, we just throwing away. But it's so often it's the country that sees the effects. It's the country that sees the effects of the plastic bags. In a weird way, in a city, if you see a plastic bag left on the side, it doesn't cause you to think, that shouldn't be there. But when you're out on a nature walk somewhere and there's plastic and there's bottles and there's just, let's call it what it is, crap everywhere, that doesn't look right. So I think that's what started me thinking about things. And then, it was 8 years ago that I met my business partner, and the world of Oh Crap was formed from some of those conversations and those talks.
Amazing. I happen to be quite green myself, and I'm very conscious of it. Like even today on the freeway, I saw things on the side of the road. I'm like, why is that even there? And I'm very big into recycling, and I'm just conscious of these things. And I believe, like, here in America, we're such a wasteful society, and so we need more people like you who are being innovators in the industry and creating products and ways for us to change the pattern of wastefulness. So how did Oh Crap save 52 million plastic bags?
Yeah, well, the exciting thing is the number even just keeps growing as well. So we just passed, I give you an update on that figure, we just passed 55 million dog poo bags saved from landfill.
Congratulations, that's a huge achievement.
Thank you. That's a lot of crap.
It sure is.
A lot of what would have been single-use plastic dog poo bags aren't anymore. So it was just over 8 years ago, I met my business partner who'd had a dog as well. And it was the moment where he bent down before that and was putting his hand in a plastic bag and thought, it was as simple as putting my hand in a plastic bag and I'm picking up an organic dog poo. And for some reason, it just clicked with me, and that doesn't make sense.
Right.
The logic in that one moment was like, okay, that's got to change. So, but it's almost when you can see it, it's so obvious. But until you can see
I think about the same thing. I'm like, okay, I'm picking this up and I'm going to go put it in the trash can. And it's going to go end up in a landfill somewhere, just like a piece of plastic with, you're right, it's illogical. So tell us about the product you created and the journey of the design and how you came up with it and just launching compostable poop bags.
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing at the time. Bruce had that moment of saying that doesn't make sense. He actually had a friend in materials, so he texted a friend in materials and said, "Hey, I've just done something really weird. I've just realized I've done this weird thing of putting organic dog poo in a plastic bag. Any idea if there's any materials out there that we could use or do stuff with?"
Mhm.
And the friend in materials came back pretty quickly actually and said, "Hey, I actually think there's something, there's this material out there. It's not really being used for dog poo bags, but we could give it a go."
Right.
And so that took a couple of years of some back and forth, some testing, and to be a good crapologist, you got to put the time in to pick up the scoops. So there was a good couple of years of being an expert crapologist testing, and then it was back in 2017. Bruce and I met, and we turned what was that initial sort of material and ideas into I guess, version 1 of the dog poo bag. And then over the years, we've just refined it and refined it and refined it. And if we have gone to the levels of how can we perfect the sticker that holds the roll together. So, it took us a year to develop the ultimate sticker. So
that's so funny. That sticker always bothers me. So I'm curious to learn what you've done. And are you able to share your secret of what the bags are made of?
Yeah, so instead of being made from plastic, they're made from cornstarch. So it's 100% organic material. And there's something that lots of people get wrong when it comes to compostable things, and that's, well, it's biodegradable. That just means it breaks down, right? That's good for the environment. Well, that's not actually true.
Really?
Because biodegradable just describes the way something breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't describe the material. And it doesn't say, hey, this is going to break down over X amount of time.
Right.
So it doesn't say it'll be gone in a couple of months' time. The laptops we're talking on today, they will probably biodegrade because of it's the process of the molecules breaking down.
Right.
So our bags are certified compostable. They're made from cornstarch. And so with compostable, there's actual legal tests to say, hey, this is organic. And within 180 days, 90% of the bag must be gone.
Wow.
That's it. And then after 6 months, 100% of this material, so cornstarch in our case, must return to 100% organic matter. Right. So when you see compostable, that says it will disappear. Mm-hmm. When you see biodegradable, what that means is it will degrade using the biodegradable process. Mm-hmm. And so when you see lots of things that say, hey, we're biodegradable, well, what that actually is people put special chemicals in. So the initial visual thing that you can see kind of breaks down quickly to lots of microplastics in general. So we've talked to some scientists, and ironically, sort of old school dirty plastic is somewhat easier at an environmental level to just go and pick up than, hey, I've got this super duper biodegradable bag of some sort that is actually, after a couple of years, just millions of pieces.
Wow.
So really what you want to look for is the fact that things are compostable, and hey, that means there's a legal government test to say it will be 100% gone at an organic level.
Wow, that's incredible. That's an incredible achievement to have created a product that does that. And it's so needed. So I'm a Christian, and God in the Bible was like, I give you the earth to have dominion over it. And I just feel like we've so not honored that responsibility, to take care of the earth. And I love how you're just using the substances of the earth, natural earth, to be able to create the products that we need in our lives. And I think we need to get back to that. I'm of the mind, like, let's go back to Garden of Eden thinking, like eating healthy, using the natural products on our skin, on our body, and even for this purpose. So it's incredible what you're doing. And you're also doing pet sprays, right?
Yeah, we're doing pet sprays, and we're actually taking sort of a bigger. We've been doing dog poo bags for 8 years. So we kind of know now lots of the questions to ask, where to look, what is like. I now see eco-friendly slash, is it friendly on the environment? I'm sort of that robot looking around going, oh, I can see that, I can see that.
Right.
And I think one of our biggest questions was that we really realized is if we identify and use the question, where's the plastic in our life? Suddenly I see it everywhere.
Right.
And so we kind of looked around pet ownership more, and I've always had dogs. I've had dogs for years.
Me too. And I love my furry friends. I mean, they're my babies.
Yeah.
I say a life without pets or dogs is a life without love. I mean, you got to have them. Isn't it true? I know.
You've just hit the heartstrings this morning. Yeah, that's so. When we started asking those questions, it's suddenly like, hang on, so much of the stuff we're doing with dogs there's single-use plastic in, right. And one of them is all of the sprays that get used. The urine stain remover, don't chew this, don't pee here. Right. They all come in number one, they come filled up with water. So you're shipping water around the world, number one. And then there's all the knock-on effects of shipping just water that we already have at home. And number two, lots of those bottles are single-use, or they have a cap that's single-use. There's some of it's recyclable, or bits of it aren't. It's none of the sort of the general sprays you get are that perfect, or they've got a label on the front that then can't be recycled. So what we did was we took, say, urine stain remover, and we turned it into a very small tablet. And what you do, you go and get your Forever bottle, you drop it in your Forever bottle, go and fill up your water at home, and then you've got your urine stain remover. So in your puppy stage, maybe later life, maybe we know there's some dogs that through their life have a few accidents. You have your Forever bottle, you're not throwing it out. And we've designed ours that if it does break for some reason, it falls off the side or whatever, it's 100% recyclable. But yeah, we suddenly realized that why do we ship water all over the world when we have it at home?
That's so brilliant. You're so smart. I love it. And it makes perfect sense. And it's like once you wake up to this, and I think being in consumer products is there's a part of educating the consumers, so they understand why this product exists, and then once they realize the difference, then it's hard to close your eyes again. It's like, absolutely, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating is now. I think now I can see it, I can't unsee it, and
right, exactly.
We've applied the same thing to dog toys as well. So we've got a whole range of dog toys coming.
That's awesome. Because actually, I was just looking at I have two little chihuahuas. One's a 4-pound and the other's a 10-pound. But I was looking at my pile of toys, and I just keep accumulating more and more toys. So I'm so glad you're doing this in the toy market too.
And they've all got plastic. So many of them, they've got plastic at the top, or they're this plastic thing, or from the eco-friendly point of view, the number of conversations that I have with dog owners and myself over years, I've been part of this, I've been through this journey, is, I'm going to buy my dog a toy. Oh, don't worry, they're going to destroy it in 15 minutes, then it's gone.
Right.
Like, hang on. and then I'm going to throw my toy in the bin, and the dog's never going to have it again.
Right.
So we went and found that we could make dog toys out of coconut fibers. Oh. So what would have gone to waste, just literally coconuts being thrown out, turn that into coconut fibers, and you got the ropes, you got the balls, you got everything. And because they're coconut fibers, they're quite hard wearing. Plus they're from an eco-friendly material. If it does, eventually your dog does the really good stuff and really chews through it eventually, that testing, we've had them for a bit now. We haven't had any dogs in at least a few months. We've been testing them, chew through them yet. So, but when they do, they're made out of coconut. It will actually
eventually when they do. So they're longer lasting being made of coconut.
Yeah, they're a lot harder. So we certainly
tougher.
say for some dog owners, they might want to put it in some water for 15 minutes when they get it, just to soften it a tiny bit. But most dog toys they've got plastics hidden somewhere.
Right. It's true.
I could go on about the dog toy market forever. And the fact that us as dog owners, I'll just get it. They'll destroy it very, quickly, and it gets destroyed, and there's micro bits of plastic everywhere, and it's no fun. So we're really asking ourselves the bigger questions now of, okay, where's all of the single-use plastic in dog ownership?
Well, I think it's brilliant because we, as consumers, we forget that what we're using is going to become a pile of trash somewhere. And that big pile of trash is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so this is the solution to that, to avoid that trash pile up, that's ending up in our ocean. So it's like this collective process that's hurting the earth that we're supposed to have dominion over and be caring about. So what you're doing is creating a solution that's literally changing the world for the better. And a lot more people are becoming eco-friendly and understanding that these are the measures we have to take, to preserve our world and take good care of it.
And I think what's been really cool in the development of the dog toys and the sprays actually is dog poo bags, we can't make it the same price as plastic. The economies of scale, even, let's talk real business here. Economies of scale wouldn't get us to plastic levels. But the sprays, that's the same price as any other spray. So why wouldn't you just choose eco-friendly? It's not we're not charging more because it's eco-friendly. It's the same price. Our thing is, how can we make the best product in the world? Oh, and it's just eco-friendly as one of the things it does.
Right.
And the dog toys, same thing. When I go to my local pet store, all of our dog toys are the same price. So, why wouldn't we choose eco-friendly over not? And I think that's where I'm hoping lots of the world goes, is it's not going to be a choice as such. It's not going to be a monetary choice to be eco-friendly. It's just, it's the same product, but one is eco-friendly and one isn't. So why don't I obviously pick the one that is eco-friendly?
I love that. So now, how can businesses balance profit with planetary care like you're doing? How did you, obviously you told your story, but how can other businesses that maybe aren't being eco-friendly now start moving and shifting in that direction in terms of products they're creating and how they function as a business?
Yeah, fascinating question, because I think it really starts with the question itself is, where's the hidden plastic? So the question is, where's the hidden plastic in what we do every day? Or where's the hidden plastic in the office? Or where's the hidden plastic? Call the things that we want to change the hidden thing, and then we see it everywhere. I think that's the first step. So the question is the first step.
Yeah.
And then after then, over 8 years, I've seen a lot more availability of eco-style products.
Yeah.
So it could start, TV. I'll pick TV remotes as just a really random example. Who knows exactly how they're produced at the moment, but a lot of that material could be at least recyclable, or it could be, ironically, there's all these clothes out there that are made from plastics that would have gone to the sea. Now, I could talk about that all day, but if you're going to use plastic, go and find that stuff. You know, the people who make the TV remotes, they just happen to have one at the back behind me. It's why I'm using it.
Well, I'm thinking about like shampoo bottles or beauty, because obviously I'm a woman, right? And so that industry is so massive in terms of product distribution. And I mean, that would be incredible. It's so much waste. They're all single use. My God, I can't even imagine where they are right now. They're probably floating in an ocean somewhere. But
well, and it's all the ones that we can't see as well.
Yeah, because I mean, we're seeing a shift towards changing what's in the products and going more natural, and that's wonderful. But now we need to go a step further and what the product is in and start changing that to not be single use and start using more natural products, compostable.
So I think
like
there's a two-sided thing there, is both having some kind of reusable bottle. So for me personally, my shampoo, I've now used the same bottle for a good couple of years now.
Love it.
But what I would at least do is if I'm going to get the refills, I'll get the massive refills. So I think of things now from the logistics all the way back to the production and the logistics all the way through. So at least by getting a big bottle, I've reduced down on the logistics. But there are also, I know this, there are compostable soft packaging solutions. So you can go and create a compostable, let's say, refill pack for your bottle that you've decided to keep forever. And that is 100% possible. And then I know also in the shampoo world, there is some of the equivalents of our tablets for our urine stain remover. There's those same concepts where it's at the end of the day, the bit you want is all the chemicals and all the things that do the hair bit. Well, generally that's just a tiny bit of the whole liquid. The rest of it is just sort of filler. It's just carrier.
Right.
So, there are certainly, from my knowledge, there are the sort of tablet or very, very small impact sort of shampoos and conditioners as well out there. So even now I think they're available, and it makes sense for shops as well. They don't want to have shelves that are endlessly stacked end to end with bottles. They could half their shelf space and sell an awful lot more variety of things too.
Yeah, it would impact industries across the board. So now, how do you integrate spirituality into your sustainable entrepreneurship and business leadership philosophies?
Yeah, I think that's really important to not just it's just about money, it's just about profit, it's just about squeezing everything out of things just to earn money, just to sell products. We actually try not to sell products in some cases because we don't think it's ethical to go and do Black Friday sales. We don't think it's ethical to go and do Boxing Day sales, Prime Day. We don't think it's ethical to keep trying to push people to buy more. But when people do require to buy things, we want to be the people that they come to. So I think that's one side of things. But for me personally, I've really been on a journey of, in my early 20s, my whole body was sort of tight, strong, and just really closed up because I was so desperate to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think it was in my late 20s, I started realizing that there's these things called meditation. There's this stuff called meditation, and there's a bit of yoga, and eventually I did yoga for a bit, and then the meditation came around, and I started realizing that, I'll say it, I'm pretty fit and strong. And the thing that really got me is when I started meditating. I've always been pretty proud of my six pack. Like, hey, it looks good, great on the beach. I live on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Let's bring on the six pack. It's all good. But I started meditating and it all disappeared.
Wow. Like the ego, right? The ego death, sort of the physical is an illusion, and it's more our spiritual selves that is the true importance. Like for me as a Christian, the Lord always says, don't judge a book by its cover. And he's always helping me to remember that we're spiritual and we have such depth to our beings, and we have to honor that in one another, you know?
And so what I realized is, my whole body was so tense and so sort of fighting itself. So I actually had to properly go to the gym and actually earn my own six-pack back after that. After my body had relaxed and calmed down and become grounded, I had to go and earn the true strength sort of back.
Yeah.
And I think that really opened my mind to, hang on, the way I was taught to live as a kid, the way the world sort of pushes you to live,
right,
is very I feel like it's very disconnected from actually being human and being my true self.
right.
So what that ended up being is I started working like, how do I change the whole of business to be better? So now I started doing gratitude practices, so I've now got the whole team doing gratitude practices. And
love that.
You know, I think God is very much says is, you know, be grateful for things, and the world sort of changes around you. And there's a lot of science to back that up. So we do gratitude practices, everyone. I also think it's very important in meetings and when we start things is to come into our bodies and like actually be present.
Yeah.
Because I think in a business meeting or any kind of meeting, I do this in lots of situations now. Let's bring ourselves to the center. So we start every meeting with a 3-word check-in, 3 feelings.
Right? I love that.
And try and go, good isn't a feeling.
Right.
What's in our bodies? What are we feeling? So that might be tingly. It might be energetic. It might be present. What are the feelings inside?
Yeah.
And I've also started sharing with the team more recently, asking what do they want to manifest? What is their thing? So I'm writing the team chakra-based affirmations and go through the energy centers and have statements that relate to those energy centers. And if you asked me 15 years ago about this stuff, I'd have been like, yo man, you're a bit funky, you're a bit weird. And now I'm like, oh, everything comes true. That's really good. Let's keep doing that.
You know, I don't believe in evolution in the sense that like we were once monkeys, but I believe that I believe in the evolution of our soul. And I think that when we're younger, we're kind of more vain and kind of not as concerned about our inner selves. You know, we're more like superficial. But I think as we grow, we evolve and we become more spiritual, and we grow into our spiritual selves. And like for me, I'm a Christian, and what the idea the Lord taught me is that we can be very carnal. When we're too much in our flesh and our carnal selves, that's when the body's tense. That's when you're irritated. That's when your ego is leading, you know, and you're irrational and things like that. But when we move into our spiritual, our divine nature, you know, like Jesus taught us to operate, that's the place where we become light and love, and we can manifest miracles, you know, and where all things become possible, and where we're more aligned with God's will for who He created us to be. We are divine spiritual beings. That's the truth. And so when we operate from that place, everything becomes possible. There's a scripture, I live by the scripture that says Matthew 19:26, with God all things are possible. So for me, like I'll meditate on God's word or I'll pray, and that brings me into alignment with God, and then that's when I see the manifestation of miracles, because when you're aligned with the divine, nothing can stop that. So it's really wonderful.
Yeah, and I think with that is trying to, so how as humans do we plan our way around the life that we want to live, that doing work is part of that potentially. You know, I always ask people when they come and join us and come work for us, okay, what do you actually want from life? And then we'll figure out the company to work around that.
Interesting.
And
well, and I love the gratitude that you do. What did you call them? Gratitude affirmations?
And chakra-based affirmations.
See, because I have a gratitude journal, and I'll do the 7 things I'm grateful for, and I think that keeps your heart in the right place. Like there's a scripture that says, make all your prayers known to God with thanksgiving. So it's very important that we maintain a heart posture of gratitude and thankfulness, because today is a gift. That's why it's called the present, and we should just be grateful for that. And from that place, appreciate every good thing that comes our way. Actually, another scripture that says, every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father of lights, in whom there is no shadow of turning. So that always reminds me that everything I have in my life is a blessing and a gift from God. And you can't not be grateful when you realize that,
And it makes so much of the, when I relate this back to business and how I guess we live personally, it just makes so many of the big business things really small because we're present, we're human. And I think just being present, the world's pretty good when we're present.
Yeah, and I also think this alignment with the divine fosters integrity because, with the teachings of Jesus, it's always about loving your neighbor as yourself. You're not going to rob your neighbor, lie to your neighbor, deceive your neighbor, right? So in business, for me, it's about maintaining that integrity, so I'm not price gouging, and there's just principles of doing things the right way when you operate from a divine space of your being, and not carnally, fleshly, pridefully driven.
And that's something for me, one of the first steps in understanding the running a business in a spiritual line way is what are the values of the business? And do you break them when it feels easy to break them, or do you stick to them? And we've had a few situations over the years, dog poo bags, they're compostable, they break down. Especially in the early days as we were starting out, we didn't get all of our ordering right. We had some extras of some and so on. What warehouses generally do is they just get their, any products they need to throw out the warehouse and just throw them out. Well, for us, the bags are compostable. So what we did is, as the accountant in the business, to my heart sinking, we spent a whole load of money on a truck.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I understand the ecological impact of trucks, of driving your own truck. But anyway, we went and picked up quite a decent amount, unfortunately, that we had to dispose of because they had gone end of life. And we actually disposed of them in the green bin. So they specifically went to landfill. They specifically went to the composting areas and not into the general landfill bin because then they'll go back around in the cycle.
Right.
So
that's what we want. More of that.
Yeah. So from a monetary point of view, the accountant inside of me didn't enjoy that experience at all. But that's our company values, is that we choose eco-friendly first. So that's what we have to stick to. And it has certainly cost us money over time, but it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it, because I say dirty money never lasts. And because when you compromise your integrity and your values and what is right, it catches up to you, believe it or not. So you can't escape those underhanded choices that you make that are not integral and not really doing the right thing. Like there's, I think, a statement or slogan that says it takes courage to do the right thing even when nobody's watching. And believe me, those temptations to compromise your values will come. And I think as we pass those tests, God's always watching, and so he honors that and will allow the business to grow more and bless us more and more as we choose to do what's right, and not just what is right or good for us, but for everybody, Like, and
Yeah,
it has to do with money. We're in business, so of course it's money decisions. But doing the right thing always pays better dividends.
Yeah, and we've said no to what appear to be eco-friendly products because we found out they're not truly what we understand to be eco-friendly.
Right.
That I had some very good, indications they would have earned us a lot of money, but.
Mm-hmm. But then you wouldn't have stayed true to the core of your values and what your brand stands for, right?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
And so you are who you are because of that, and I think that's what sets you apart from competitors and people in the industry and why you are leading the way. So what's your plan? What's the hopes for the future growth? Let's say 5 years, 10 years from now. Are you going to expand internationally? Because right now you're Australia based, correct?
Aussie based, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the US is always on our radar. So the next 6 months really looks at deepening some of the new. I'll just talk, business. We're deepening some of the areas like the new dog toys. We've got another couple of areas as well that we've suddenly realized, hang on, that didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So we're really working to deepen those areas. And then through late 2026, the US will definitely be a place to go because anything we do in Australia, you can times it by 15. So I can just imagine 55 million and times that by 15. And suddenly I can't do the numbers very quickly off my head, but that's a lot of poo bags we could be part of saving in the US as well.
Oh my goodness. We need you here. We welcome you with open arms. Please, oh crap, come to the United States.
I want crapologists all over the US.
So where can our listeners or viewers get the product? Can they buy it directly from you, or where can they get the product?
Yep. So jump onto ocrap.com.au. We do ship to the US, but also we do ship internationally as well. Most of our orders are in Oz, but especially some of our lighter products, we can ship them around the world.
And then let's say store owners or things like that, they can reach out to you for potential distribution opportunities as well. Is there a contact for that purpose?
Yep, it's sales at OCRAP. We've got a couple of hundred retail stores already, so we're very much in the retail space and work with quite a few of the distributors, retailers, and anywhere in the world we have distribution links. So sales at OCRAP is a great place for any of the retailers and distributors as well.
Love it. Well, you are doing an amazing job. I commend you in the highest honor for what you're doing in the world. We need more of you, Henry. I was going to say it in French, but Henri. But we need more of you, men like you, who are willing to change the world, do the right thing, and kind of just have eyes open to what this world really needs. And you've done that. So I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited to see how OCRAP goes and grows, because I know that it will continue to be. And this meeting is just a step on your way up. Is there anything else you'd like to add or share that you feel is important that maybe our listeners know about you or the product?
I would just love people to ask themselves, where's the hidden plastic in their life, and see where that takes them.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it here, folks. Visit ocrap.au for more. Thanks so much. It was lovely to meet you. God bless you, and I wish you all the best and endless success, Henry.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
All right. Bye.
Bye.